Okay, good. So on the warm-up thing, go through how you say stuff. 2-octave scale, repeat the top notes, you know, staccato, one pitch in a demo or something like that. It's really easy to confuse people. And you know, just go through it. It's just like if when you first have a concert and talk to the audience, I hope you practice that. Hello, welcome. I mean, as silly as that sounds, it's really good to see that, to see if you stumble, if you can think on the spot, stuff like that. In your warm-up, conduct, if that's what you're asking for them to respond to. If there's no reason for you to conduct, don't. You know, they can listen or they can watch, or you direct them in that. Okay? There's always a reason why you do something. And if that's what you have to constantly ask yourself, you know, why would I do this? Okay, this is what I want to respond to. So that was just a little note. Okay, constructing and deconstructing. We deconstruct a behavior, and when we construct it and build it back up to the finished product, that's called teaching. And so that's what we need to do. Check the opening thing. Da, 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 da. Okay, I've heard that a lot today. So let's deconstruct that. First, it's hard. It's a hard lick for anybody. So what's involved in that? What's one of the elements of that behavior? I'm sorry?
Separating most strokes so that it's crisp and it can bounce off.
Okay. Okay. Is that a priority, do you think? Because you're going to prioritize. Like, what's the, to get this like sounding like something, what has to happen first? Nah. How about just the bow stroke? Da, 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 da. You know, amount of bow and amount of pressure. That kind of thing, right? So the amount of pressure, the velocity, the pressure, that's all in the bow, the part of the bow. How the bow relates to the fingers. Fingers, you know, for some people today I've said, okay, accent, the first of every 4, that kind of thing. So breaking it up into its purest form. So da 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 on open 8, its purest form using this. There's no huge string crossing issues. So that's not involved. Taking it down to its simplest form, boiling it down. Does this make sense to you guys? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Articulation. So related to the piece you just conducted, for Monday, for your homework, for your fun homework, you're going to teach a behavior, and it's what was your primary objective. So I've got this model for you. If you don't understand it, if it's too convoluted, if I don't make sense, you owe it to me to tell me. Okay? And I'll do my best. So, deconstruct. Now, does this sound familiar from elementary and secondary methods? Where you just take a concept, a behavior apart, and you learn the little parts and then you put it together. Does this sound familiar? Would you? Any of this? Sort of? Okay. Because I am going to talk to Dr. Costa, because if he has certain vocabulary that we can both use, it's much easier. So, again, list specific elements, parts of the physical behavior. All I'm doing is talking technique now. You know, sawing across the string or whatever you're doing. So, you take those and you list them, as you'll see in my demo. You list them, and then you reconstruct it. Okay, first do this. Now do this. Now put it together like this. So it's steps, sequential, little steps at a time. It's something that might very often won't happen in the first rehearsal, second rehearsal, first lesson. You know, this is exactly just like a violin lesson, right? So, and you have to be able to go, okay, yeah, they get it. I can see they're demonstrating it. They're telling me how it feels. They're defining it for me. What else? You know, they can see it. I can see it. They can see it. They understand what that is. So the behavior. That I only broke down part of this behavior. If I want my middle school orchestra to play this crescendo 2 bars, sforzandi, piano, crescendo, that's a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of different stuff. So I just started to break it down. It's going to break down the whole thing. I just didn't have time. So what's the most important thing to making a crescendo? how much bow and how fast. They kind of go together. So that was my thinking in this. And a lot of times not like a right or wrong kind of thing, but it's thinking through it. So I go, what did I put down? Okay, parts of the bow. So now, if I'm teaching this, so I'm listing all the things that I have to look at. I put part of the bow and I define it as concretely as possible. 3 inches, show me 3 inches of bow. Show me 3 inches of bow like this. Put your bow in your instrument in your lap. Show it to me. Is it large, is it small? How big's your foot? And you can go nuts and don't do that, because then they'll also, take off their shoes and yada yada. But show me 3 inches. Okay, that looks like 3 inches. Joe, that looked like 12 inches. Okay, 5 inches, 8. It doesn't matter if it's exactly like that. But if they feel, okay, 12 inches, do this. Does it feel like an open motion or a closed motion? Yeah, does it feel like, I don't know. I don't have a behavior to associate that with. So that's what I'm talking about. You break it down, you got that, and then you teach from there. So to reconstruct, as I put down, all students show me what 3 inches are somehow. And I've never done this. Show me what 3 inches look like this. I've never done that. I might do that with 5th graders, but I just brainstorming. And then show down the instrument. How much does your arm move? Does it move a lot? Does it move a little? Okay, look at your arm. Is it going like 3 inches? Whatever you want to do, whatever you think is going to be effective. And most times you will be effective, and sometimes it just won't work, and that's the nature of teaching. Violins, watch the viols. Are they doing 3 inches of bow? Stuff like that. Draw 12 inches of bow. Draw means play. Does that feel like its arm is open? That kind of thing. It's feeling it, it's seeing it, it's understanding it. The most important thing is understand it, even if you can't execute it. Does this make sense? I'm talking quickly. But this is, if we do nothing else here, it's understanding how to teach, and that's teaching. So on this last go-around, our 5-minute lessons, I'm not grading you on lessons. We haven't really talked about putting a lesson together. I just wanted to get you up there how to do it and talk, most importantly, about the warm-up and relating that to whatever you're going to do, because it's going to save you time, it's going to help people understand stuff. And I just graded you on the conducting. I want all of you to get A's in this class, and you need to get A's because this is what you're going to be doing. With that said, most of you at least got a B, if not less, lower. With that said, everything will be curved. And with that said, I'll always throw out your lowest mark, and you'll have a ton of grades for conducting. Okay, so don't panic when I give you overachieving people. When I give you back your papers, like, oh my God! Okay, if you get worried, come to me though. So, Nikki, you're going to take your straight cross, your main objective, and you're going to tear that sucker apart. And you'll bring it back, and we'll add to it if we can think of other things, that are involved. So just one concept. Lindsay's thing was her hook bow, and what's involved with that. Phrasing as it pertains to what you were trying to do in your piece. Same with you. And Mariah, dynamics, right, was your main thing? Bow distribution, exercises away from your piece, but as it relates to your piece. Articulation for you. And then for Rebecca, it's your tuning bow. Okay? You showed it and explained it, but how do you physically do it? Do I stop the bow? Do I dip the bow? Really. And once you do this, it will stay with you. You'll have that in your repertoire for teaching that skill. Okay, so does this make sense? You're going to list all the elements of whatever related to right hand, left hand, arm, bow, instrument. And then you'll go through like my list. Okay, I'm going to first have the students do this and this and this. And as you do that, you might go, well, maybe I should do this instead. It's all good, okay? So type it up. It can be just, exactly like that. Just bullet. And if I don't understand anything, I'll ask you, okay? And then you'll just turn it in. And then we might go through them a little bit on Monday, okay? We'll do overall, talking about this on Monday. We'll do some exercises, continue to conduct in the shower. All different things, patterns and staccato, and especially legato, keeping this here. And if you're like, I'm not sure I'm doing this right, just bop in my office and go, look at me. What do you think? Okay? Questions? Are you sure?
How do you know how to you're coming back to the same thing?
Here?
Or how do you feel?
First of all, you're in the mirror.
Okay.
And, easy here.
Just practice on the flat surface and get better at feeling.
I mean, that's one very common exercise to do. You know, and but your mirror is your best. For me personally, in all of these physical behaviors, because I'm not the best learner, I'm not a quick learning kind of person. I can kind of do it, and then I'm receptive to instruction. I literally, for everything, learning the trumpet when I was in high school, learning this and that, I close my eyes and visualize somebody. So for trumpet, I visualize Dizzy Gillespie without the cheeks. So I go, what would he do? Put the trumpet up here, I arch my, you know, whatever it takes. But for me, that worked. Kind of having a model, a visual, is for me is hugely important. Yeah. And then the nuances, it's hard for you because you're doing it, but it's easy for us to, you know, some people tend to do this, and it's hard to realize things like that, and that's what we're here for each other for. If you have no questions, then good. Good work. Have a good one. I have a new one, and yeah, I graded you.